So the summer holidays are drawing to a close, you're about to go back to college or school and you'll be starting a sociology course, A-level, or you might be going back to start second year sociology A-level. And what I'm going to do is just talk about two books that are going to help inspire you, get you going, get you thinking about sociology. You've worked your way through all those sociology memes, and getting some inspiration from those isn't that fantastic. But one of the things about this meme is it does highlight that last little bit about books being really important. So we're going to look at two books, one that's really good for beginners and first-time sociologists, and another that's good for more settled sociologists who want to stretch themselves a little bit further. So I'll be ranking the books in three different areas. The lower the scores means that the books have tried, maybe not quite hit the mark, going up to a 5-star score where the books are pretty good in these areas. The areas that I want to focus on, because I think these are quite useful to be aware of, would be something like costs, so how expensive the books are. I'm going to think about how much depth and detail the content holds, so how much detail is included, how in depth the discussions go. And then I'm also going to think about how user-friendly they are, how accessible are these books for students to pick up and use. So the first book I want to look at is this one here, Sociology Made Easy, or Super Smart Thinking, and it's written by Pountney. Now this book is a really good, very basic introduction to sociological thinking, ideas and principles. If you are new to sociology, you're beginning to study the course this September, this could be something that could be useful to begin with. If you want to build on some of the basic ideas. The sort of details do say it's for children 9 to 11, so it is aimed at sort of like the younger audiences. However, I think if you were beginning the course and wanted a little bit of context, it would be useful. It's relatively short, 32 pages long. It costs around £12 on Amazon. That's the last time I checked. And I think it's quite a nice book to introduce it. So just as you can see here, it kind of goes through the basic ideas. What is sociology? How did it begin? How do we get our research? What are the key principles? It covers a little bit of basic information about all the theories, the key thinkers, the key individuals from the subject. I would say, as I say, quite a nice book, particularly if you're going in, you just want a really basic introduction, or you've got younger siblings who are curious about what you're doing. So cost-wise, I put it at 5 stars. £12 is a really good amount for a hardback book. Depth of content, I have put it at 1 because it is a very basic introduction. It is aimed at younger audiences, but still covers enough and very student friendly. Now, the second series of books I've got here are the sociology books. It's a series of books called Big Ideas Simply Explained, and there's a massive selection of these covering a whole range of topics: psychology, religion, politics. There's a whole series of them, but this is the sociology book of the set. And basically the kind of premise is, it says, why do we have societies, why do they behave differently, and it covers a lot of different thinkers, theorists, sociologists and concepts. Now, as a book, if you are returning to study A-level, you're in your second year or going into your second year, this could be a useful book for you to read, to provide some background, some context or some ideas before you go back to your A-level. And it could also be quite helpful when you start your second year thinkers and you're introduced to some new concepts or ideas. The layout of the book is a little bit more in depth than previously mentioned with the super simple ideas. So you'll get a topic like a quote or a saying from a key thinker which starts off each section of the book, and it is literally broken down into chapter, or sorry, not even chapter, it's a quote from a key thinker, and then it goes into their theory in a little bit of detail, providing some context, some background, some explanation. And as you can see here, this first quote is from Karl Marx, talking about religion and how religion is a sign of the oppressed creature, or sign of the oppressed creature. And it goes through to explain what that means. It provides a little bit of context on Marx and Marxism. It explains how the idea developed, what he's actually saying. It covers a little bit of how that fits in with sociological explanation of society, and it provides some context or examples from history. Again, you might be introduced to thinkers that you may not have seen before. So this one here summarises Judith Butler's work. And again, Judith Butler says that gender is a kind of imitation for which there is no original. And again, it talks about what Butler means by this, the context of her theory and perspective, what this means for society today, how would we see this. So very It is an interesting approach, again, starting with a key quote or a concept or a saying from a perspective, and then explaining the theory around that concept. As I say, an interesting approach, and if you have studied sociology and have looked at some of the key figures, it could be a useful background or development for you to extend and stretch your essays further. So by ranking wise, I've put it as cost is 5 stars. Again, £14 is really good. It's a very big book. It's a hardback book. £14 is a good deal, and that's the most recent price I saw on Amazon. You could probably buy cheaper versions pre-owned, and actually if you look around some of those books like shops like the Works, I've seen a lot of these books pop up in the Works in the past. I even saw this one in my local Sainsbury's recently. So again, you might find them cheaper in your supermarket or sort of discount bookstore. Depth of content, 4 stars. It is a lot of content, there's a lot of detail there, but it's not overwhelming, I would say. It does break it down, again, quite simply. Student friendly, I've put it 3 stars because, you know, there is a lot in here. It does sort of base itself on concepts. So as my final thought, as I've done in previous videos, just to kind of clarify, you know, these rankings are my personal opinion. So as a teacher of sociology, working in classrooms with students, these are my views on these books and how I would recommend them to my students. As I say, they may be ranked differently on other websites or other sort of platforms, but as I say, these are just my opinions. So don't necessarily take them as gospel and that's it. If you do have any thoughts, comments, disagree with me, or you've got a better book, you know of a good book that you feel will be useful to sociology students, put it in the comments below. I will look at the comments. I do read and respond to comments, so obviously feel free to just drop a message or a like or a comment here. As always, what I tend to say to students and people watching these is if you can watch this, you like it, you know, give me a like, subscribe if you like the sociology content. Also throw a lot of stuff to do with health and social care and citizenship, which I'm going to continue to be doing over the next academic year. And last but not least, if you are beginning and are about to go into a sociology subject or do a sociology qualification, obviously good luck. And actually anyone going back to school or going into college next year, good luck. And obviously hope that goes well for you. As always, thanks for watching this video and take care.